It's morning time, and I'm running a little late this morning. So when I run late, you rush. And in rushing, it requires to get things done, to get up to speed so that you're not behind. It's going to require that you do certain things that you would normally do. In other words, you stay in a safe zone. What I'm talking about is the dogs. You put certain dogs away that you're working with, or dogs that have an edge to them, and just kind of make it easier for yourself in order to accomplish and do the things that you need to do. But sometimes when you're rushing, you gotta put things together. You gotta make it happen. And so this morning I've got everybody out because I'm cleaning and I'm getting ready to feed, and I don't have time to do the separation, crate, and rotate, as you'll hear rescuers say. So I just kind of throw everybody together as I'm cleaning and watering and washing down. And it takes a certain amount of energy because it requires that you're focused 100%. And now I'm looking at these two dogs here. Oh, can you believe it? Lucky got himself a mount, which is wonderful, because this guy is here for an evaluation boarding, and he's seen Lucky for the first time, and he's very interested. Look at him, he's looking for him right now. It's like, where'd that smell go? But he's got one ear to me and one ear to the stimulant. You see, one ear to Lucky and one ear to me. And everybody's around just kind of, checking the situation out. There's dogs front, back, and three sides flat. And what I want to say is that when you're dealing with an animal that is born and created to give you 100%, this is a full life that's trying to live every single second of that life. They are not holding back anything. The human being, you have to force them to give 50%, or even less than that. You got to force them. You got to promote them and make them feel a certain way. And what I want to say is today that my dogs, when I'm working with them, they help me to understand my limitations. Because if you're dealing with someone that gives 100%, then you've got to be 100%. So they remind me. This is nature. This is the beauty in nature, because it will force you if you have a top and bottom. See, the human being doesn't have a top. We have a bottom. A dog is captured. An animal is captured. They can only be what nature has told them to be. They're caught. And the human being is not. We can think and do and be whatever it is we want to think and do and be. There's nothing holding us back. I often say when it's time for birds to fly south, no one has to tell them it's time. They just know. Nor can they decide that this is not something that we're going to do this year. They're captured with that. And so when you've got a human being who has the freedom of choice, sometimes an animal that's like this can burn you out. This is why people have problems with their dogs, because they don't know how to match that energy. And if you don't know how to match the energy, if you don't know how to give 100% of yourself, and when I say give 100% of ourselves, I'm not talking about like suffering. This is about understanding what it is that you have to do and then do it. Hey, and look for situations like this while you're cleaning of excitement. This guy is thinking 100% every single second of the day, hierarchy. Not just him, every dog that's here. Life, death, discipline, domination, fear, submission. That's all he can think, because that's nature. Someone has produced that within him. They fed it. Okay? Now, we can say that this is genetic because dogs have a genetic predisposition to be that way. But what I'm looking at is the learned part. This dog has a genetic predisposition to be this way, but someone has fed it to become something a little abnormal, okay? And that's okay, because I'm showing here that hormonally, I don't care what it is, you can hormonally manipulate your dog to feel if you understand the 100%. The 100% is, I'm looking at things on the other side. I've got all kinds of dogs doing all kinds of things. Some dogs are trying to eat poop. As you know, it happens sometimes because of the protein that's in there, and it's not, hey! And the protein is still within the feces, hasn't digested properly, and just a lot of things that are happening. Okay, so this 100%, me being able to release all of these dogs together and be 100% present. That's what I'm talking about. Observing everything and everybody. Even though I'm looking at this guy, I'm looking at everybody that's here. I know that he has the greatest neurotic tendency today because of his movement. So his movement sparks me to be a present, 100%. So I am 100% this morning, always understanding that this is what I have to do. And in doing so, I can balance this guy. I'm trying to show you, those who are interested in having a kennel and working with dogs, it is not about a collar, a leash, a prong collar, a choke chain, an electronic collar. This is not about those kinds of controls. This is about me reaching into this dog hormonally, and every single dog that you see, and being able to manipulate them to the point where they can look at things exactly the way they are. I'm not adding to or taking away from anything. I'm just making him feel a certain way because I am being present. That's what I want to say to you. I am present, and because I am present, that is what's giving me the control. Now, how is it that we're not present? There are human beings that they see something, they become afraid. That fear that they have makes them walk half steps. They don't step out and do and challenge themselves. And so because of that, they're living in the past of what happened when I did this last time, or what's going to happen if I do this, and what kind of repercussions am I going to have in the, tomorrow or later on because of what I've done. And so we're living in this fear. But when you're present, like these guys can make you feel, if you open it up to yourself, then you're going to be ready for everything. So I walk into this knowing that I know what I know from the experiences that I've had in the past and all the years that I've been doing this, to take these formerly aggressive dogs that have even killed dogs and put them together and be able to control them with nothing that man has made, but what nature has made. And when you do that, this is the results that you're going to get. Another thing that I want people to understand is a lot of times, I'm busy, but there's no barking at all, 100%. All the dogs are out, even on the other side of the compound. But there's no barking. It's quiet because everything is as it should be. We'll continue.